The last sliver of deep twilight clung stubbornly to the jagged, ancient peaks that guarded the treacherous valley, painting the sky in hues of bruised amethyst and fading indigo. Below, nestled amidst the encroaching shadow, lay the obscured entrance to the legendary sunken grotto of the Siren's Whisper, a vast cave system delving deep beneath the Earth's silent, forgotten crust. Whispers of this place, carried on the faintest breeze from passing, nervous travelers, spoke not only of waters of incredible stillness but of ancient, slumbering secrets, and a pervasive, ethereal song that could draw the unwary into eternal slumber. Lysander, an arcane cartographer of no small reputation among the reclusive scholars of Eldoria, sought this place not for peace, but for the definitive map of its rumored sonic anomaly, a unique vibrational frequency said to be linked to primordial arcane currents. He carried a meticulously crafted runic lantern, its light a warm, steady pulse against the immense, patient darkness that now enveloped the mountainside, and a series of delicate sonic crystal resonators, each tuned to detect subtle magical frequencies. Even before his gloved hand brushed the cool, moss-covered stone of the cavern entrance, he felt it, a distinct, palpable current of cold, damp breeze wafting steadily from the cavern's shadowed maw. It was an ancient breath, carrying the pure, sharp scent of wet, subterranean stone, the faint, earthy aroma of millennia of damp earth, and something else, a subtle, metallic tang, like distant, forgotten springs laden with unknown minerals that hinted at vast, hidden waters deep within the mountain's embrace. It was more than just air. It was a strange, pervasive exhalation from the very core of the earth, a welcoming, yet slightly unsettling, invitation into its timeless depths. The entrance itself was deceptively unassuming, a narrow fissure in the colossal rock face, barely wide enough for a lone adventurer to slip through, and perfectly masked by thick, silent swathes of dark, velvety moss that seemed to absorb all sound, an almost deliberate concealment. Lysander took a long, deep, steadying breath, allowing the cool, moist air to fill his lungs entirely, a quiet, cleansing sensation that settled his resolute spirit against the encroaching mystery. With a profound sense of anticipation, a meticulous blend of scholarly eagerness and a cautious adventurer's foresight, he slipped inside. The last vestiges of twilight from the treacherous world above vanished instantly, replaced by the deep, resonant, and utterly embracing darkness of the Earth's ancient heart. His runic lantern, now the sole point of focused light, cast a small golden circle, illuminating the immediate surroundings, glistening, slick rock faces, tiny rivulets of pure, untouched water weeping silently from unseen cracks, and the endless, gentle drip of unseen water, each isolated drop echoing softly and melodically in the profound, consuming stillness. The cold, damp breeze deepened around him, becoming a constant, gentle current, a cool, guiding hand that seemed to draw him forward, deeper and deeper into the quiet, ancient embrace of the forgotten reservoir. As Lysander ventured further into the labyrinthine cave system, consulting his preliminary hand-drawn maps of the region's geological anomalies, the initial narrow passage gradually and subtly widened, transforming from a confining fissure into a series of increasingly vast, echoing chambers. His lantern's soft glow danced across towering stalagmites rising from the floor and intricate stalactites descending from the unseen, impossibly high ceiling, their surfaces often glistening with perpetual moisture, like countless, silent tears shed by the ancient stone itself, each a testament to unimaginable age. The cold, damp breeze, now a steady and continuous presence, became a comforting yet persistent companion, its cool breath a constant reminder of the profound depths he explored. It carried the distant, musical sound of dripping water, each isolated drop a perfect, tiny chime echoing in the profound, encompassing stillness, a natural percussion in the earth's grand, silent symphony. This was not an oppressive darkness, but a soft, enveloping quietude, broken only by the gentle, rhythmic whisper of his own breath and the faint, almost imperceptible echo of his soft footsteps on the cool, damp earthen floor. Subtle yet profound, hints of something more ancient and living, something arcane, began to subtly appear. Scattered patches of ethereal luminescent fungi and phosphorescent moss clung to the cavern walls, emitting a soft, otherworldly glow, like scattered emerald dust flung across a canvas of infinite velvet. Their gentle light, though faint, was sufficient to reveal intricate, ancient, and smooth carvings on some of the larger, more prominent stone formations, swirling patterns that spoke of water in motion, of the deep, enduring earth, and of profound, continuous slumber, akin to primordial spellwork. These silent, ancient etchings instilled within Lysander not a flicker of unease or alarm, but a quiet, contemplative wonder, hinting at a long-forgotten history, a powerful, benevolent presence that had once, and perhaps still did, reside within these deep, sacred halls. The cold, damp breeze seemed to whisper through these chambers, stirring the tendrils of mist that curled gently in the lowest hollows, as if carrying a silent message, an ancient, resonant frequency. He allowed himself to be guided, drawn forward by the faint, consistent current of air, which now felt less like a natural phenomenon and more like a benevolent, unseen guide, gently urging him deeper into the very heart of the system. The individual sounds of dripping water gradually grew more pervasive, weaving into a soft, consistent, and pervasive melody, a gentle, liquid chorus that subtly suggested the imminent approach of a vast, hidden body of water. The very air around him felt perceptibly heavier, saturated with profound moisture, and imbued with a deep, resonating calm that settled into his bones, a tangible magic. Lysander's senses sharpened, not with any sense of tension or heightened alertness, but with a serene anticipation, a quiet readiness for whatever gentle, arcane discovery awaited him in the profound, ancient, and undisturbed stillness of the sunken grotto. The winding passages culminated in a grand, breathtakingly cavernous space, vast beyond anything Lysander had dared to anticipate or imagine from the scant lore available. His small runic lantern's gentle light seemed utterly swallowed by its immense scale, its humble glow barely reaching the distant, unseen, and impossibly high ceiling. Here, the cold, damp breeze intensified noticeably, becoming a powerful, continuous current that swept majestically through the entire chamber, stirring the air with a profound, quiet strength. It hinted at colossal open spaces or vast, hidden water sources yet to be revealed within these subterranean depths, perhaps even channels to the elemental planes of water. The familiar sound of individual dripping water was now entirely replaced by a soft, pervasive murmur, the quiet, rhythmic lapping of water against unseen, ancient shores, a serene sound that promised immensity. And then, as if in response to the very presence of water, the luminescent fungi became gloriously abundant, clinging to the colossal rock formations like scattered constellations of purest emerald light. Their combined, gentle glow was sufficient to finally reveal the chamber's true, breathtaking nature. It was dominated by a colossal, underground reservoir, a vast lake of perfectly still, obsidian-dark water stretching silently into the impenetrable gloom, its surface a flawless mirror to the faint, ethereal lights above. The cold, damp breeze, now smelling faintly of ozone and pure, ancient stone, flowed smoothly across its immense surface, stirring gentle, hypnotic ripples that shimmered with the reflected moss light, creating dancing patterns of profound tranquility. It was across this vast, quiet, and shimmering expanse of water that Lysander first truly perceived it. Not with his eyes at first, but as a profound stillness, an immense, deeper shadow situated precisely in the very center of the lake, a form that was somehow darker, more complete than the surrounding darkness. A momentary, reflexive shiver traced his spine, a fleeting echo of the ancient legends of the Leviathan of the deep, fearful tales of a creature of unimaginable size and terrifying, destructive power said to dwell in the earth's deepest watery veins. His initial fear was not of immediate physical danger, for the stillness was absolute, but rather of the immense weight of its reputation, the pervasive, silent power and unknowable nature associated with such a truly legendary, primordial being. Yet, as the scattered luminescent glow grew steadily stronger, reflecting with increasing clarity off the vast, still surface of the water, the immense form in the center began to slowly, gracefully resolve itself. It was indeed truly colossal, a serpentine body of incredible, majestic length, coiled in a graceful, perfect spiral upon the water's glassy surface. The scales, appearing as dull, polished river stone in the soft, diffused light, shimmered with subtle, earthy iridescence as the ethereal glow from the moss danced across its vast, ancient form. Its head, massive yet elegantly shaped, with broad, smooth planes, rested gently upon its coils, its eyes closed in a state of profound, undisturbed slumber. This was not a monstrous beast of terror, but an embodiment of the cave itself, a creature of profound antiquity and immense, silent, unwavering peace, an ancient, elemental guardian of the deep. Lysander stood at the very edge of the vast reservoir, his initial apprehension, born solely from the creature's formidable, inherited reputation, now dissolving like morning mist under the steady, consistent cold, damp breeze. The air, rich with the pristine mineral scent of deep, ancient water and the grounding aroma of millennia-old rock, felt utterly, completely serene, a natural tranquilizer for the spirit. The Leviathan, for it could indeed be no other creature of such scale, was magnificent in its profound slumber. The scales, though appearing as solid, rough stone in the soft, diffused light, subtly shifted with an internal, vibrant iridescence as the bioluminescent glow from the pervasive moss danced and shimmered across its vast, ancient form, revealing hidden veins of silver and deep green, arcane patterns etched by time. Tiny, crystal-clear streams of water, pure and unblemished, occasionally trickled from unseen fissures high in the cavern's colossal ceiling, falling onto its broad, sculpted back with soft, rhythmic plinks, each drop echoing like a tiny, gentle chime, as if serenading its fathomless rest. There was no sense of threat whatsoever emanating from the creature, no indication of malice or discomfort. This being, long forgotten by the hurried surface world save for fragmented, often fearful tales, was, in its very essence, the embodiment of the reservoir's tranquil, beating heart. Its immense size only served to profoundly emphasize the boundless depth of its peace, an ancient, venerable being so utterly content in its eternal slumber that nothing could possibly disturb its serene repose. Lysander found himself utterly mesmerized, not by fear or distant awe, but by a feeling of profound, quiet kinship, a serene resonance that resonated deeply with the creature's vast, quiet stillness. He felt a gentle, almost imperceptible pull, an unspoken invitation to simply exist in its immense, calm, and deeply comforting presence to map this unparalleled arcane phenomenon. He sank down gently onto the smooth, cool stone at the water's very edge, the cold, damp breeze rustling softly, almost lovingly, through his hair and against his cheek. The air, thick with the pure, soft moisture of the deep earth, felt like a comforting, unseen blanket, wrapping him in its serene embrace. He allowed his gaze to drift effortlessly over the creature's immense, peaceful form, noticing the subtle, barely perceptible undulation of its breathing, a slow, rhythmic movement that sent tiny, gentle ripples across the otherwise perfectly still surface of the vast water. A faint, incredibly low hum began to emanate from the Leviathan itself, a profound vibration felt more deeply in the bones and in the very essence of one's being than heard with the physical ears. It was a deep, resonant hum of utter, ancient contentment, the quintessential sound of a living mountain, breathing softly in its eternal, profound sleep, a natural arcane frequency. The pervasive, low hum from the sleeping Leviathan now completely filled the vast chamber, a soothing, continuous vibration that resonated deeply through the very stone beneath Lysander, up through his limbs, and into his core. It was a unique resonance, a sound that settled deep within his chest, easing every muscle, every lingering thought, into a state of profound and unshakable stillness. The cold, damp breeze continued its gentle, consistent flow, carrying the pure, invigorating mineral scent of the reservoir's depths, now feeling less like a mere current of air and more like a refreshing, comforting presence, intrinsically and beautifully tied to the ancient creature's vast, tranquil breath, an elemental communion. As Lysander sat there, simply existing in the immense, serene presence of the Leviathan, he noticed a subtle yet significant shift in the behavior of the luminescent fungi. The emerald glows intensified ever so slightly along the parts of the cavern wall closest to the creature, pulsing with the same soft, rhythmic undulation as the Leviathan's gentle hum. It was as if the very cave itself, every facet of its ancient rock and embedded life, responded directly to the creature's profound, pervasive peace, drawing quiet energy and sustenance from its deep, continuous slumber. He realized, with a gentle awakening of understanding, that the Leviathan was not merely in the reservoir. It was the reservoir, the living, breathing heart of this forgotten, sacred place, eternally sustaining its profound stillness and its subtle, pervasive magic, a grand, living arcane node. A deep, undeniable sense of understanding settled gently over Lysander, enveloping his spirit in a quiet clarity. The creature's long-standing, fearsome reputation, he now understood, was not based on malice or danger, but on the overwhelming awe, the profound mystery, and the immense, silent power it commanded simply by its presence. This power was not destructive, as the old tales suggested, but profoundly generative, a silent, limitless wellspring of peace and sustaining energy for the very earth it so gracefully inhabited. This was no monstrous beast to be genuinely feared, but a venerable, immensely gentle guardian, the living embodiment of the earth's profound, ancient, and undisturbed slumber. The initial flicker of apprehension Lysander had felt upon its first, partial revelation was now entirely and irrevocably replaced by a quiet reverence and an undeniable sense of bond, a connection not forged through hurried action or spoken words, but through a shared, timeless moment of profound, mutual tranquility, an ultimate cartographic discovery. The creature shifted ever so slightly in its sleep, a vast, slow movement that sent barely a ripple across the water, a gentle, unspoken affirmation of its serene and benevolent nature. Lysander spent timeless hours, simply sitting by the reservoir's immense edge, completely enveloped by the pervasive peace of the Leviathan's deep slumber. The cold, damp breeze flowed steadily, a refreshing current intricately woven with the deep hum emanating from the vast, ancient creature. The air, saturated with the pure essence of underground water and ancient stone, was deeply calming, a natural balm to his spirit, soothing every fiber of his being. His runic lantern, almost forgotten, cast a faint glow dwarfed by the gentle luminescence of the luminescent fungi, which pulsed softly, in harmony with the Leviathan's slow, rhythmic breathing, charting a unique arcane signature. The profound stillness of the reservoir was absolute, a silence so deep it hummed with its own energy. It was broken only by the soft, rhythmic undulation of the creature's immense form, and the occasional drip of water from the cavern sealing onto its vast, rocky scales. Each drip was like a tiny, gentle chime, a perfect note in the slow, ancient symphony of the deep earth. Lysander felt his own breath deepen, slowing to match the Leviathan's serene rhythm, his mind clearing of all thoughts and concerns, leaving only a vast, tranquil expanse, like the calm, undisturbed surface of a pristine lake. The initial fear, based on old, misunderstood legends, now seemed absurd, completely replaced by a profound trust and a quiet, comforting connection to this ancient, benevolent being, a connection far more valuable than any map. He imagined the true stories that would now be told about this magnificent creature on the surface, tales of awe and serene wonder, not terror. He understood now that its legendary power was not destructive, but of quiet, pervasive sustenance, of gently holding the stillness and life force of the earth in its slumber, a true guardian. This bond, subtly forged in silent understanding and shared tranquility, was a precious gift, a connection to the deepest, most peaceful, and ancient parts of the world, a living atlas of forgotten magic. The vastness of the cavern, once intimidating, now felt like a comforting embrace, a safe, quiet sanctuary where time itself seemed to slow and soften, held by the Leviathan's hum. The profound calm of the forgotten reservoir deepened, settling into Lysander's very core. The Leviathan, a vast, silent presence, continued its deep, rhythmic slumber, its gentle hum a pervasive lullaby woven into the cavern's very fabric. The cold, damp breeze remained a constant companion, a soft, ethereal current that gently caressed his skin, carrying the pure scent of wet stone and ancient depths, now imbued with the creature's serene aura. The luminescent fungi, their emerald light muted but steady, cast a soft, dreamlike glow, making the vast chamber feel intimate and profoundly peaceful. Lysander felt his limbs grow exquisitely heavy, not with fatigue, but with profound, pervasive relaxation easing every muscle, every joint. The cool, smooth stone beneath him felt like a gentle cradle, supporting him in perfect stillness. The bond with the Leviathan, forged in quiet reverence and arcane understanding, radiated a comforting warmth throughout his body, dissolving any last trace of tension or intellectual pursuit. The earlier fear, based on misunderstanding and incomplete lore, had been entirely replaced by deep, unwavering trust and quiet joy in this unique companionship, a revelation of living magic. His thoughts, once meticulously categorized and analyzed, softened, blurring at the edges, dissolving into the tranquil silence of the reservoir. The external world receded entirely, becoming an imperceptible whisper far beyond the comforting embrace of the cave. Only the immediate space remained, a self-contained sanctuary of profound peace and still, deep water. The subtle sound of water dripping onto the Leviathan's back, like tiny bells chiming in the deep, became a final, soothing melody. Lysander's eyelids, heavy with serene release, felt soft as velvet, drawing slowly, effortlessly shut. The final internal image was of the deep, still water, reflecting emerald glow, and the vast, peaceful form of the Leviathan, a benevolent, ancient guardian resting in its eternal slumber, its presence a source of immense power and peace. The cold, damp breeze flowed, a constant, gentle current like a soft, cool breath, carrying the purest essence of the earth's quiet heart, now profoundly connected to the creature's own boundless tranquility. Breath became a gentle, rhythmic whisper, flowing with unhurried ease, perfectly synchronized with the Leviathan's slow, deep rhythm, a breath shared with the ancient world. This colossal, powerful creature, once a subject of fearful legends, was now the ultimate bringer of peace, its presence a vast, comforting anchor in the profound depths. His initial fear had completely transformed into an unwavering bond of trust and profound understanding, a beautiful, quiet companionship forged in the timeless stillness, a discovery beyond any map. There was nothing left to do, nowhere left to be, except here, in this perfect, serene sanctuary. The very last conscious thought, if it could even be called a thought, was one of profound, unwavering contentment, a quiet, effortless drift into undisturbed, restorative slumber. Lysander's dreams would now be filled with the deep, cool tranquility of the S.